Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to Tensura Advent of Magic. Last time, we take a look at the Divine Giant race, or I guess technically just Giant race. We didn't reach Divine Giant until near the end of the episode. But, yeah, Divine Giant, or just like the whole race line, there's a decent chance this is now just the strongest race. Like, Demon is always going to be uber powerful, but like, this is probably in the running. Because, yeah, on top of just having, like, really good stats, you get magic resistance for free, and just all that goody, you also get two very powerful intrinsic skills. Gigantification, which, this is actually lets you go back to regular size. Normally, you're stuck at 3 blocks tall. And on top of just having really good stats, you also essentially just get, like, a free power boost with this. And once you reach Divine Giant, you get Titanification. Yeah, I did pronounce that correctly. Which, it's not quite as good. Gigantification just stays on permanently, but Titanification is only a couple minutes timer. Oh, I set it to power scale of 3. I wanted to have a power scale of 0. Titanification is a little bit rougher to actually use, apparently, because I mastered it between episodes, but I haven't quite figured out how to reliably change the power mode of it. Like, you get the same boost, no matter what size it's at, but if it's at power 0, you don't get the size buff. I kind of wanted to show that off, because it's pretty funny. So, yes, two very powerful things. You get, I think across both of them, just like an extra like 70 damage on top of everything else, and then that's not including like the actual racial buffs itself. It's just very powerful. Plus, it looks like we probably have the highest max HP of any mob in the mod now, because like they ended up nerfing a lot of the high-end races down to like 1,000 HP instead of 10,000. Or I think most of them were like 6,000. I don't think any of the base mods, base races ever reached 10k. But other than that, just did some searching and managed to find a few new spells that I have now managed to finish learning up. Last time we finished Master Explosion and looked at Chain Explosion. Between episodes, I have finally learned Thunder Rain, and I actually only cast it once before, and that was enough to master it. Thunder Rain. I think Black Lightning does something similar, actually, where you get to, like, regular Black Thunder strikes, and then once it's mastered, you can do something like this. And it also has coding, which looks like we have... I was gonna punch it just to see. That's not following me, is it? It is. Okay, so that makes that even better than I thought it was. I thought it was, like, stationary. But Thunder Rain coding. This was unlocked when it was mastered. Hold on, that's obviously doing electric damage to anything around me. But I think... Oh, it was like that. Oh, just an extra 130... just an extra 100 damage of magical whenever I punch something. That's just pretty good. It looked like it was doing an extra effect, too. But that could have just been, like, the Shadow Glaive things. One second, let me pull up the wiki page for some of the new magics I just learned. Okay, it looks like the, Thunder effect adds 100 magical damage to 5 punches. So it's not quite that overpowered, but it is still pretty good. Anyways, the other magics I learned, Search Enemy, rather. It gives you this effect for 2 minutes, or until you turn it off. Basically, it just works... Interesting. Has this always been a thing? Let me turn back on and off Magic Sense real quick. Interesting. How did I never notice that the demons don't actually get popped up on Magic Sense? That's pretty cool. I guess if I used Universal Perception, I'd probably see them, and I probably saw them just instinctively thought that was the case all the time. Universal Perception. No, they don't even get picked up by Universal. Interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. They're just immune to sensing techniques. Sure. Oh yeah, Magic Sense needs to go back on because it's weird. Yes, you're down there. I see you. Anyways, Search Enemy It's just a sensing skill. It's not that interesting. Thunder Rain's cool. Magic Barrier is a Reinforced Barrier is mastered now. I assume that these are stronger, right? No. That's weird then. Like, why would I ever use something that's not Combined Barrier? It probably costs more magic, but, like, it's not that much more. It's like a fairly cheap magic. Oops. Yeah, just 4% for Combined Barrier is probably better than the other two. Next up, Anti-Magic Area we tested out last time. Icicle Spear. This one's a little bit weird. I was trying to summon it a few times and it didn't work. But it's kind of like Earth Spear. I think it's actually bigger. It needs a big enough space, I think is the problem. And I was doing it at the Ender Farm and it just didn't work. So, pretty cool. You have to aim specifically at the ground and, like, guess where your opponent's going to be, though. So it ends up being a little bit rough against certain opponents. And... what's its mastery effect looking like? 3-second cooldown, instant cast, as usual with magic now. I did learn Possession, but it just works exactly like the skill Possession, but worse. So, you would basically learn that if you can't get Possession elsewise, and then you would master it to get the skill itself. So if I'm gonna use it, I would rather just use the skill instead. Clairvoyance works just like Farsight, except... Oh, it does work. I wasn't sure if it lets you... Or maybe it doesn't? Okay, yeah. It's just Farsight, except it doesn't let you see analytical stuff when it's mastered. Float just gives you the levitation effect, and Ice Wall. We learned 5 new... We got 5 extra books last time. None of them were, like, super exciting, except for, like, Chain Explosion. Like, the other skills I learned I already had, I just hadn't mastered yet. And Ice Wall. It's just like Earth Wall. It's just like Earth Wall. It's just an Ice Wall. It doesn't have any extra modes. You just do that. Kind of good, I guess, for, like, stopping, like, a big attack or, like, getting something to stop coming at you. But otherwise, just probably not something I'm going to use. Anyways, today, what are we getting up to? I think it's time to actually fight Hinata and Luminous. I don't know if there's much else. There are apparently 14 more magics I haven't gotten to see yet, but I just cannot find the books for them. So that's a little bit rough. Is there anything else I want to test first? Oh yes, I guess of note, I did train up Caliburn a bunch between episodes, and I did get some new engravings and some training. The Adamantite Spear now has Energy Steel, which is pretty cool. And Rook here now has Slotting 3, because it reached 1 million EP. So that's just gonna hold 3 spatial cores now. Yes, yes, yes. And instead of doing, like, a bunch of damage, it's gonna do even more. So let's just put that down. Let's take out all but one thing real quick. That and that. Just take out the broken ones first. Yeah, 350 damage now that we have spatial domination. If I put in 2 more of them, the damage goes up to infinity cores? Oh, I'm guessing that's just have 3 in the one, yeah? Oh, over 1,000. Yep, yep. Yeah, that's quite the upgrade. Leave me alone for a quarter of a second, please. Thank you. So, yeah, slotting 3. Very good. I could put a flame core in there instead, but I think 3 spatial is probably just going to be better. Might as well just take out the one that's about to break and put in these. I don't imagine we're actually going to have any problem beating Hinata. The only problem is Dead End Rainbow. I'm hoping Infinite Regeneration mixed with our other defensive things will be enough to protect us. But 7 hits from that, I should have enough magic that if she tries to land a disintegration, I can, like, launch something back at her and stop her from attacking. Or just otherwise somehow escape it. So, That's a weird place to spawn me. Like, usually it spawns me right in front. Why did it spawn me in the water behind the thing? Anyways, I'm gonna head on over to the barren lands near here. This is just like a good testing point. And I'm gonna start getting some gear, and I'm gonna start finalizing gear and skills, and then I'm just gonna spawn her in within a spawn egg, rather than wait for her to spawn naturally. Okay, I think I have our gear as set up as possible. 8 Petals Flash there is going to be pretty good. Battle Will's pretty nice. Absorbent Skull actually lets you instantly eat things like potions, I believe, so that's really good. Dimension Cutter, just for like some magic attacks. Apparently with Law Manipulation, since we have it mastered, we should be allowed to use it in anti-magic area. Which means I also would be able to lighten. Spatial Domination for Dimension Storm could be good. Gigantification and Titanification, of course. Saddam, this bar is not really going to see much use in this battle. Although, I guess I can put Magicule Coating for Demon Lord Evolution, Demon Lord Haki on, because why not? I'm going to try and use Takeover on some of her stuff, but I don't know if it's going to work. Multi-layer barriers on Demon Dominate's not really going to see much use. Thunder Rain, Reinforced Barrier, and Thunder Orb are all staying. Anti-Magic Area, I guess we'll try it. Although it's not mastered, I'll probably get told no. Icicle Spear, because why not? Might as well test it. Explosion, might as well test it. And then some summons, just because it's pretty funny if it works. I think we're good to go. I already have the spawn egg. Let's activate our barrier. Let's activate Gigantification on power scale. Let's go all out, shall we? There's that, and Titanification on power scale 0, because I did it again. 1 second. I really wanted to be super, super massive for this. Okay, just use the command to do this. So if I do this, power scale 6. There we go. As big as we can possibly get. And you know what? Let's go into creative mode for just a moment, because I'm probably going to get a thumbnail here too. And spawn in Hinata. Yep, there she is. Yep, this is a pretty goofy picture now, isn't it? There's just no way I'm gonna get a good angle for the thumbnail, isn't it? With like how I have to like hold my head, and then she was like standing right on top of, like she was standing right here. Come on, come on. Yeah, I want this to be the thumbnail. This is going to take me a couple minutes to set up, apparently. That took me considerably longer than I thought than it should have, and I ended up having to spawn in multiple Hinatas for that thumbnail, so I guess we're fighting over here instead. But you know what, this is a more challenging location anyways, because I don't have massive magical regen here. So, sure, this is gonna be it. I'm gonna spawn her in now. She's instantly trying to destroy us. This feels excessive. Are you... This game is silly. Why is that considered a Majin that she wants to destroy? That makes no sense. It's a neutral mob. It's just a pile of bones. Oh well, oh god. I guess I'm spawning in like a 5th Hinata now, and we're gonna fight her over here and hope we just don't go that far. Oh, first, get rid of the skeleton. Anyways, Caliburn is not coming out. Caliburn will die. Fine, I guess I'm gonna go... I'm trying to fight somewhere that isn't the Barren Lands. Because I fought every important battle in the Barren Lands. And that's just... And it's just kind of like cheap, easy mode. Because I'm not getting interrupted by other mobs. And I don't have to worry about magical regen. So like, I want to fight somewhere that is different. It's just... It just keeps telling me no. Weird stuff. Like, I don't know. Anyways, is this a new one? Or have I already been here? I've already been here. Let's clear the skeleton real quick. And let's set up for the fight for real this time. Just let me through. There you are. This looks like a decent enough place. We're gonna get interrupted by like the occasional other mob, but it should be fine. Oh, this is full of junk. That explains why it's not auto putting in here. You go in there, you go in here, and it's yada you do that and that. Thank you. Dump this stuff. Yeah, inventory's looking pretty rough. I completely forgot to empty that after doing some training. Anyways, Gigantification up to max, because why not? And I'm going to turn on Titanification in just a moment. That's going to be the final thing I turn on. Multi-layer barriers on, Law Manipulation, Reinforced Barrier on. Thunder Coating, because why not? Anti-magic, Icicle to do. I think we're good. Titanification on at power skill 6. And spawner in. The fight should begin automatically. Oh, for a second I thought she was going in for auto combat instead of actually trying to fight by herself instead of summoning her familiars. Okay, there's Ifrit down. Okay, one swing is more than enough to take on any of her summons. Okay, I cannot fly. That is, I almost forgot about that. Multi-layers on. Right, combined barrier. Oh yeah, that's all on. She's attacking. She's only doing like 500 spiritual HP. How does Dead End Rainbow work again, though? Like, in theory, it should be guaranteed 7 hits and you die. I don't know. I don't remember if it actually works like that, though, if they just made it do spiritual damage. Game, not the time to lag. Thunder Orb. Oh, that did decent damage, actually. Game not happy, game not happy, game not happy. 1 second. Are we good now? Hopefully. Oh, I suddenly caught fire and was expecting to turn around to see a dragon. No, that's just the tree I'm on. Anyways, let's try this again, shall we? Oh, my... How much damage do my hits do to her? A lot. Like, a lot. Okay. Oh, yes, also, when we had stolen... when we got starved, we ended up stealing... what's it called? Ultra Instinct from our Tempest Star Wolves, which means we now have extra dodge chances. The only problem is here we're taking a lot of Magicules. We're losing a lot of Magicules, so we gotta be careful. Multi-layer still on. Law Manipulation Takeover. The problem is she isn't actually launching anything that has like big circles to steal. Oops. Oh, I ran out of mode. Okay, that's a little bit bad, but you know what? Probably not the worst thing. Just so that I'm like a little bit more reasonably sized. I can't blink because spatial moves are blockaded. Okay, how are we doing here? Okay, my swings still do a decent chunk of damage. Yeah, I'm gonna need to start drinking arcane potions here. This is going about how I expected. Okay, that did decently well. Spatial cuts. Yeah, she does like 3% of our MP with every like regular sword swing. Her magic though isn't actually doing that much. Okay, that did nothing. Okay, we're in a little bit of a pickle. Just keep drinking potions. Lighten to give us a little bit of extra maneuverability, but not much. We also should... Oh, here we go. Yep, when's she gonna launch a swipe is the problem. Okay. Oh, she knows that magic now, too. Interesting. And... Oh, she's also doing severance damage to us. I need to fully charge a battle with here. Come on. And 8 Blossom. There, got it. I think I missed. Can I launch it a second time? Oh, there we go. That did good damage here. Where is my Law Manipulation? Abnormality Cleanse. Shadow Motion. Oh, we broke her armor. We're a giant, which means we just broke her holy armament. I completely forgot about that, but that's part of our abilities. Giantification, Titanification, and just as a baseline, we just destroy armors pretty quickly. Okay, we've got this fight. The new battle will for extra block chances, Law Manipulation to get rid of Severance very easily, Titanification to just destroy her equipment outright. And there's 2, there's 3. Where is Law Manipulation, Abnormality Cleanse, Coding, and Thunder Rain? Come on. Oh, that Thunder Strike did a bunch. Oh, wait, maybe it didn't. Thunder Orb. Okay, yeah. The new magic is strong. She also has not cast Disintegration and has not cast... Oh, did I think that was Disintegration, but somehow... Oh, Anti-Magic is stopping me from casting Anti-Magic. But I think she started casting... Oh, there we go. I'm not entirely sure what got the kill there. I think it might have been... I'm actually not sure. Like, I thought the thunder had just run out. It didn't look like she got struck there, but then she just dropped, so I don't know. Abnormality Cleanse to get rid of spatial magic. Really good. Infinite Regen is enough to save us, even without spiritual attack nullification. And any nullification for that matter. Thank you, Reincarnation Magic, for that. How good did we do? 180 training points. Yeah, that is a scary fight. If you do not nullify everything she does, it is not easy. Like, not many fights at this point make me use resources like that. But what did we get? Moonlight. That, I think there's some random chance on what engravings you get on it. We got Barrier Piercing X, we got Severance, Slotting 3, and Holy Coats 2. I think that's like the high end. I think occasionally she'll drop a Moonlight and it doesn't really have anything important on it. Actually, we got Moonlight, not Dead End Rainbow. I'm thinking of Dead End Rainbow, where you sort of get one sword or the other, and you get random engravings on whichever one you get. So, pretty good drop right there. And even though it's like super weak now, if I remember correctly, Moonlight used to be somewhat stronger, but now there's the whole system where if it doesn't evolve, it gets stronger. It gets new abilities, so a very powerful sword. So yeah. Hinata always scares me. It's especially in like an area without high magical regen. That is an expensive fight. Like that is not easy. But a couple very important new skills here. Like the whole giant race, just OP. Dimension Cutter. I mean, we already had a Dimension Cutter from Spiritual Magic, but this one's still pretty good. And 8 Petals Flash. Yeah. Yeah, we're very powerful at this point. But based on how hard it was to beat Hinata, like she never launched a swipe and she never, or not a swipe, what is it called? Aura Smelt or Aura, I don't remember. It's something with an S. I think it's like Aura Slash, it's not Aura Slash. What is it called? 1 second. Ah, it's Melt Slash. That's why I was thinking Slash and Melt. I just couldn't remember the actual name. Okay. Anyways, yeah, Melt Slash. She never launched one. Otherwise, I think we just insta-die. Even with... yeah. Even with Infinite Regen, if she cast Melt Slash, I think it probably would have taken at least like 50% of our max magicals, if not more. Because that attack does so much damage. And she never actually managed to land a disintegration, or launch a proper one. The only time she tried, Thunderstorm managed to save the day, which, yeah, that's... I summoned it. Thunderstorm, yeah, thunder. Anyways, Hinata, I love that fight. That fight terrifies me to no end. But now that she's beaten, the only actual opponent left is Luminous. Are we just fighting her today too? I'm kind of out of time to record for right now, so I'm going to end up recording the rest of this tonight. But I think... Is there any way I want to rematch her? She's so strong. Someone had the idea of how would Otherworlders handle them? How would other... Words are hard. How would it work if you had like an army of Otherworlders to fight all the bosses? Which, I mean, I could test that, but honestly, that sounds like it could be like a really fun like long form series to like do like a subordinates only. Because like I saw someone a while ago back in the 119 version do a full series where they just had their subordinates handle major fights. And that seems like it could be fun, especially since the number of really powerful subordinates is even bigger now with like Dominate and with like the summon demons and summon Otherworlders. Yeah. So I don't think I want to have any... I don't think I want to test that. I think I want to save that for like its own long-form series. Kind of is just Luminous. But what I think I'm going to do... I might make a poll on this one to decide what I do first. Because there's a couple of different ideas I have for like another Tensura series coming up after this one. But I think what we're going to do is I'm going to beat Luminous in this run. I'm going to do a full reset scroll and just see what it's like to start from scratch with a Daemon. And then I'm going to do a full Reamer run, I think, in this mod pack. And then after that, I think I'm going to look at some of the other, like, pre-made mod packs that are around that have, like, a bunch of add-ons in them. And I'm going to start one of those. And I don't know entirely what I'm going to do. That might be the Subordinates only run, but I don't know yet. I'll think it through. I'll write down some, like, ideas, and then I'll set up probably a poll for it. But anyways, I'm going to record the rest of this tonight. Okay, I'm back. It's actually next day. I just could not record the rest of that yesterday, but that's okay. This is why I pre-record a couple days of it in advance. Anyways, between segments, I basically just came and did a little bit of EP training with some gear. The pants finally reached 1 million, so now we have... we had elemental resistance before, but now we have elemental boost, right? Or do I have that backwards? Either way, either our elemental resistance got better or elemental attack got better. I'm not sure which. And I did a little bit of testing with the whole EP non-evolving items getting stronger. So, Moonlight. We just got this from Hinata. If I just go take a look at its base stats, it's 42 attack damage. When it reached 225,000 max EP, I stopped it just shy of 250 so that I could know this for sure. It, because like 250 is when it should earn its first engraving. But at like 225 or so, it went up to 57 attack damage, which 1/3 of 42 is 14. So if it's a third, I would have expected it to be 56, but I think it might be 1/3 of that plus 41. Like if you look at 42 attack damage, 1 plus 41, 1/3 of 41 would be 13.6, or yeah, like 13.66666, whatever, so on and so forth. So, I think that's rounding up the plus number. So, it would be 42 plus equal... I was doing the math on this and now I can't actually get the words out. Yeah, I think it's 1/3 of the plus number next to it for the actual weapon whenever it reaches certain things. And I think it gets that boost twice. Because if we also look at Rook real quick... I keep spelling it backwards every time. It starts at 52, and now it's at 96. So it's a total of 44 extra damage. 1/3 of that would have put it at 67, I think I did the math on. I can't remember. I literally just did all this math, but I forgot to write it down. So, 1/3 of 52, or 51, I'm going to use the plus 51 because that's easier math anyways, is 17, should have put it at 68, or 69 total attack damage. And then from there, 69 plus 17, no, plus 27, 69 plus 27... Maybe I don't understand the math on this as much as I thought I did. Hold on a second. I want to redo this math real quick, just so I understand how it works. But I want to say this went to 69, and then it went up to 97 from there. Okay. Maybe it's not actually a percentage thing. Because this got a plus 15 when it hit 225k, and I just went back and double-checked previous footage on Rook, and it also got a plus 15. Like, Rook went from 52 to 67, and then from there it went to 96. So, I'm curious if maybe it's a plus 15 and then it's a plus 29? I'm not sure why it would be plus 29 when it gets the second damage boost, but I'm fairly sure they only... I don't know, this requires further testing. I'm probably going to take Moonlight and get it up to like 1 million EP eventually and just see what happens. But it looks like it's probably a case where it gets like a plus 15 and then like doubles the boost whenever it gets more damage added on. So if that holds true, I would expect this to reach 87 attack damage when it next evolves further. But anyways, yeah, armor, it just gets a flat +5, +6 to armor and armor toughness in order. And then whatever element, or whatever engravings and whatnot, obviously. Like, armor gets, like, a 50% boost. Or, I think that's a flat boost. I don't think that's anything either. You know, it's probably the same case. Like, plus 15 attack damage. I don't think attack speed or anything else gets adjusted. It's just, like, the actual damage. But, cool. Let's see, does this... yeah, I didn't really think that was going to change its engravings at all, but I figured it was worth a test. But it looks like it's just a flat plus whenever it reaches the next evolution tier, which means it will it's probably not going to reach as strong as Rook, but it's still a very powerful sword. Anyways, other stuff. The reason I didn't actually get to record yesterday is because I had a bunch of comments and whatnot to answer on previous episodes, and some of them were ideas that I now want to retest. Like, test I ran but didn't really get a good result or other stuff. Oh yes, also, sadly of note, Byakko ended up dying. A zombie horde spawned and it ended up pushing Byakko, the white tiger, into, like, this spot, and he ended up suffocating. So we no longer have our white tiger. I also did one otherworld summoning and got Kyoko again. Kyoka, rather. Anyways, what else was there? I wrote a bunch of it down. There's a couple of tests I want to run with Explosion now that it's mastered. Let's see. One second. Okay, I think we're good now. Anyways, one of the other tests I ran, or no, words are hard. I want to run more tests with Explosion now that it's mastered. We're going to be doing that in a moment. Otherwise, I ran another test with slotting a moment ago, or last night. Oh yes, also, someone also had the idea that the reason I couldn't get any of my subordinates to cast magic from a grimoire was because it didn't have enough EP and thus couldn't cover the cost. But the way the grimoires work is it's like a percentage, like, you use EP from a grimoire to cast magic, but it's more or less just a discount. If the grimoire can cover the cost of the spell entirely, you don't spend any, but if it's only partial, like the 3,000 from this grimoire, you're gonna spend only like 2,000 less EP. Otherwise, you just eat the rest of it yourself. Someone had the idea, like, give a really strong book with a bunch more EPs, so I tried giving this one to a subordinate, and they still can't cast magic. That just doesn't work, period. Anyways, slotting. Slotting has this weird extra number. If I just take Rook real quick and put a single elemental core in it, you'll notice that it does 471, 311, and then there's that extra 9.6 that I just couldn't figure out where that was coming from. But if you look here, this sword does 96 attack damage. If I say put that into the slotting grimoire, it gets a 0.1. It only does 0.1 attack damage. That's I'm assuming that's the minimum value for attack damage. But like the White Tiger Azure Grab, this halberd does 95. If I hit with it, it's 9.5 instead of 9.6. And finally, this one does 57. If I hit with it, a 5.7. There's just apparently a 10% boost every time just from having a thing slotted. And the more cores, and actually of elemental type also matters here. Like, if I just use Rook as like the baseline, 9.6, it's the same damage type, it's the same damage. But if I say put a wind and fire core in, you get a 14.4 and a 2.4 there as well. Meanwhile, if it's just wind, it's just pure. So that number's a little bit weird. Like if it's spatial and fire, it's instead two 7.2s. If it's two spatials, it's a 14.4. So like there's some sort of bonus, but it's not exactly just like 10% of your weapon damage per just having slots in. But if I do 3, it's 98.8, which makes sense because that would be 3. There's some sort of like 10% boost or some sort of percentage boost just of the baseline just for having cores in. I'm not entirely sure where all the weird math numbers are coming from it, but it exists in there somewheres. So that was like the slotting test I ran. Um, Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm going to need this training dummy for the next thing because the next test I want to run is Explosion. I'm going to have to go somewhere where I don't really care if it goes boom. This seems like it's far enough away. As like a baseline test, I have a training dummy here. If I break the block below it, it doesn't end up like dropping the dummy. It's not like the other ones. So, Explosion. Now that it's mastered, it goes all the way up to 10. But I haven't actually seen what like a 5 truly does. Like, can I test it on a training dummy? I had assumed not. I actually want to move it because I don't want to hurt the poor little armadillo. I had assumed not because I'm so used to the other training dummies where as soon as like the blocks around them get destroyed, the thing just stops moving. It just gets picked up immediately. But since this one can sort of just be placed wherever and stay mid-air, I wonder if this will work. Oh, cool. So I guess you can actually test other things' damage types. That makes sense. Anyways, training dummy. I'm gonna launch just at a 3 to get like a baseline value for like minimum explosion. Explosion. Total damage 300. Okay, that does in fact destroy the training dummy though. Thankfully, I now have everything I need to make like 1,000,000 of them, or I can just go buy a bunch of them. You know what, let me head on over to that village where there's a Battle Wheel trainer that I know sells it real quick. Okay, I have extra training dummies, but for this test I'm going to need to do Skill Griefing False. Because I want to test how much damage a maxed out explosion does. Like, apparently it is supposed to be multi-hits, but everything it dies in the first one, so I can't really fully test it. So let's just see, Skill Griefing off, so now it should hit all of the hits now, and I'm just going to charge this up to 10. Let's just see, it won't be nearly as impressive, just because, but like, there's 5. Oh, and they get even cooler. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This spell is completely ridiculous and I love it. Oh wait, there's 11 circles, okay. Well, let's just see. Explosion! Explosions, explosions, la la la! Cast a max level explosion for the first time. Okay. That only popped up total damage 1,000 though. That's not what I was really expecting. Like supposedly that's supposed to be multi-hits. How does this dummy classify its multi-hits though? I don't know. Like I think it's like total damage for like a singular hit and it can't count multiple. If I grab out one of the other dummies though, I'm just gonna spawn it in because it's easier. This thing may work differently. So there's that. And I'm gonna need to drink a couple of these because this is very expensive. This one won't tell me the damage type, but it does give you a damage over time value instead of just like the total damage there. I'm curious if this will tell me more information. There's 7. I guess I could have launched this at 3, just as like a baseline there too. I didn't really need to do max out, but... And saving world. Launch it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the Oh. Did I crash again? No. I am actually getting like this pretty common packet error. Like the same reason I kept crashing when I put shadows in a backpack. I guess there was something wrong. I ended up adding in yet another config library because apparently that helps. But yeah, the training dummies just can't handle showcasing what exactly happens with an explosion. The other training dummies handle it a little bit better because like it's definitely doing more than what it says on the tin. So that's pretty cool. And since it's mastered, with law manipulation, any mastered magic ignores resistance and nullification, which means I should be able to just go ahead and just completely annihilate a Charybdis or Carrion or anyone else from existence now. So that's pretty fun. Hold on, who do I want to test this against? It's mastered, we have law manipulation, we don't care about anti-magic, and we don't care about nullifications. So... Carrion? Poor Carrion. I might as well, like, force him into his royal beast mode, at least. That'll give him a little bit more of a fair shake. Oh, wait. All my weapons do severer damage. I want you at full. You sever or two? No, your energy steal. How much damage, how much stealing does energy steal do? Not a lot. Anyways, he's now in his evolution. He has 4,000 HP. And we had tested this before, and we couldn't hurt him with it. Oh yes, I don't have multi-layer barrier on, which means we're actually taking damage here. And, oh, he's going to die just from hitting me? I'm not entirely sure why. Like, what is doing damage to you? Oh, I know what's doing damage to him. It's... There's no way to cancel a spell, right? Nope. Whoops. I forgot to turn off that relic. I have a relic on that does damage equal to the amount of damage I heal up. So, I'm taking massive hits, and then infinite regen is instantly just putting me back up to full. So I probably lost like 5,000 HP in that little skirmish, and he just ate all of it as damage. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Did we actually gain any light training points? No. Weird. We didn't have multi-layer barrier or anything on this time, so I would have expected his light magic to be able to do enough to do something for training points-wise. I guess he was mostly using the, what is it, Eightfold Stampede or something like that? So, anyways, do that instead. And let's test this one more time. I want to test Explosion on him. I don't want him to just die from hitting me. That's not what I was after. Actually, maybe I should put on... Yeah, I'm gonna put on multi-layer barrier. Oh, I guess he has the same amount of HP in both Demon Mode and... Oops. In his Royal Beast form and his base form, he has the same HP, so it doesn't really matter much. Although I think he has higher armor in Royal Beast. Anyway, let's just try a 3. Okay, just like a power 3 explosion manages to do about 1/3 of his health. That's already pretty good. Hold on, I think you have more armor here. Oh, you actually do have slightly higher armor, higher HP. So what do we think will one-shot him? 3 does 1/4. 4 does an extra 100 per tick across all the attacks. That's an extra 2. That's double damage. In theory, that should do 1,000, but I'm not sure exactly how it will work. I think I have to max it out. Let's just see. Explosion! 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's 8 hits. It did over 2,000, but also its armor was doubled. So a max out explosion in base form would have been enough. Okay, so explosion is pretty funny. Like that's pretty good. Interesting. I actually can't hit him right now. I guess he has Ultra Instinct and it's just proccing a lot. I don't remember what skills you are supposed to have. There we go. And wow. I feel a little bit bad about this. Like, poor Carrion, we're just completely annihilating him again and again. Wow, you are dodging so well, actually. Like, I know you have some sort of dodge chance, but it feels like you're hitting an unnatural amount of them. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh. Oh, poor Carrion. I do feel somewhat bad about this. This was not fair on the poor Beast King. But anyways, is that the final test I want to run? Is there anything else I had written down? Exploding training dummies, yeah, explosion, when mastered, is truly ridiculous. Also, I'm so glad there's an achievement for that one. Exploding Carrion was also on my list, testing the whole elemental core and talking about how grimoires actually work. Oh yeah, the only other thing I have written down is I don't 100% know how I'm gonna handle, like, other runs. There's an add-on mod pack called Beyond Adventures. Like, it actually has, like, quest logs and whatnot. And it's from the same people who made Tensura Dungeon, which that hasn't made its way up here yet, but they do have more add-ons that work, that like boost how subordinates work. A lot of lag right now. So I think I'm going to test that. And I think that's what I'm going to use for a subordinates only run, where I'm going to try my best to let subordinates do most of the fighting. I think that could be a lot of fun. So that if that's the next run, I'm actually going to be resetting the world for that one and starting with a new mod pack. Otherwise, there's just a slime run. Do I do it in this world with all of our gear intact, or do I reset for that? And once we beat Luminous, I'm just going to use Reincarnation. I'm going to use a full reset scroll. And I don't think I'm going to do a full demon run. I think I'm just going to see, like, I don't know. Probably keep my gear. I'm not sure. I think Demon is just going to be a reset scroll. Just see what it would be like to start, to just get all these in order. Because, like, in the Demon realm, it's cool. It's very hard, though. So I don't know if I want to just jump right into that. And then there's also other runs, like there's all the other add-ons, but that wouldn't be in the Subordinates only run. There's a couple different ideas. I haven't written them down and haven't made a pull for it yet. So I'm going to have to work on that. But for right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. Next time, we're fighting Luminous. For real, I was going to do that in this little segment, and then I got completely distracted. But I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So, without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank you all one more time for watching, and a special thank you to the channel members, Yamato Tanagura, Goddess of the Starfilled Void, O'Mello, It Me Sammy Lawrence, Logan Anderson, Shadow25, and Keith Sitzlar. Thank you all so much for the extra support. For real now, take care, everybody.